guide us by your Holy Spirit, and lead us into all truth.
Now, every student so far has taken the STAR test in ELA reading and the STAR test in math, depending if it's age appropriate. So it's been a very valuable tool to talk about individualizing instruction for kids, or where they're at, both on the upper end and on the lower end. I want us and our parents to be able to know what STAR is and to be able to use the reports to communicate at the classroom level, at the individual level, and at the grade band level with our instructions. Our profession in general on how we use it and can we appropriately use it to change the way we teach.
More.
First question, how can we utilize this in a parent-teacher conference?
Sharing this data with them, showing pictures, and in my case in particular, I've shown this and said, here's STAR, and a lot of times they look like a deer in headlights,
Yeah.
but then I'll say, well, what do you see here, and you can see where the norm would be, and kind of show them that, and then I'll say, if they say, well, it was a bad day, maybe, or perhaps, and I'll say, well, I have another series of reading tests that say, well, it mirrored it. So here's some things that look very similar, and they are low in fluency, or they are having trouble with comprehension, and these scores are showing them.
Fantastic. Mrs. Gill said something I think is very, very important. That this is a one-time measure. So obviously we won't put our eggs in this basket. But if we take STAR, if we take Iowa, if we take grades, we take all of the different things that we have, statistically speaking, we should have a very good profile of every single student as an individual. How else could you use it in a conference, or have you used it in a conference?
We have also said, for instance, if it's a lower student, what we want to see is growth. So they're going to be taking this again in February. They'll be taking it again at the end of the year. And we want to see her or him grow each time.
Fantastic. What percentile level do we want all kids theoretically to be at or above? What's average? 50th percentile is average. Because we have lots of students, lots of them, that are in the 80th and 90th percentile. Lots of them. However, we have a number of students that are not. So that's why the conversation is, what do we do for each one of those individuals? How else might you use this for a parent-teacher conference? Or perhaps, how else might you use this for a student-led parent-teacher conference? Do the students know this data? Are they aware of this data? Do they know what it means about them?
No.
Mine doesn't. Some do? Student goals. What's your score? Can you beat your number? That's how we always said it. Can you beat your number? When you take this thing in January, can you beat your number? So we talked about motivation. Well, and we had a discussion like, if you don't ever truly own this, it's never really your problem, so why on earth would you be motivated to do anything about it? I think the comment that I made was, far too long have we sheltered you guys from responsibility. I think I said that to you too.
Yes, you did.
Far too long we have sheltered them from responsibility. They need to own it, and that's where I want to go with that. And I think students are far more motivated when they understand the test helps us help them. Instead of we just saying, here, take this test. Because if you take, as a grade band team, K3 or 4 through 8, and you guys have once a week now that you can look at some of this data and information, the next time you have team, you have that collaborative time, see if you can sit down, and maybe you just look at, maybe you take your grade level, your mentor level, you can identify what's the overall strength of my mentor group, what are the overall weaknesses of my mentor group, and then in team you can discuss what is our band strengths and weaknesses of our entire group, and what are we going to do about it. Trust in the Lord with all your heart. On your own intelligence do not rely. In all your ways be mindful of Him, and He will make straight your paths. I'll finish in the name of the Father, Son,